Hello students, today we will learn about the human digestive system. As you know also, our body performs the steps of nutrition inside a long tube, coiled in some places, called the gut or alimentary canal. Its main parts are the mouth, food pipe or esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, ending in the rectum, and the last is the anus. Salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas are the organs that secrete digestive juices that help convert complex substances in the food to simpler substances. Digestive juices are also secreted by the inner walls of the stomach and the small intestine. So, at first, the digestion in the mouth, this topic will be covered. Food is taken in or ingested through the mouth. Digestion begins inside your mouth when you chew the food. Think about your favorite food. Does your mouth water? The water in your mouth is a digestive juice called saliva. It is secreted by the three pairs of salivary glands in your mouth. Chewing breaks down the food into small pieces and mix it with saliva. This process is called mastication. Your teeth cut, tear, and grind the food before you swallow it. You have different types of teeth to do these jobs. A child has only 20 teeth, 10 in each jaw. These are known as milk teeth. They fall off by the age of 10 and are replaced by the larger permanent teeth. This set contains 32 teeth, 16 in each jaw. There are 4 incisors, 2 canines, 4 premolars, and 6 molars in each jaw. Feel the different shapes of your teeth with your tongue. Your front teeth are known as incisors. These are chisel shaped and are used for biting and cutting. Next to the incisors are the canines. These are pointed and are used for piercing and tearing pieces of the food such as meat. The third teeth, they are back of your mouth, are broad with almost flat surface. These crush and grind the food. These are called premolars. Molars are larger than premolars and they are just behind to the premolars. The white substance that covers your teeth is called enamel. It is the hardest substance in the body. The saliva in your mouth helps to break down starch of the food into the sugars that are easier to digest. It also makes food easier to swallow by making it wet and slippery. Your tongue is a muscular organ that helps you to eat food. It pushes food towards your teeth. It also helps to mix the food with saliva and then enables you to swallow it. Your tongue does another job too. Small taste buds are spread across its surface. Each taste bud can detect all tastes sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. Scientists earlier thought that the taste buds that detect different kinds of the tastes are located in the specific area of the tongue. However, this is not considered to be true now. The tongue also helps you to speak. Digestion in the stomach. After the food swallowed, it slides down the pharynx into the esophagus, that is also known as the food pipe. The esophagus leads from your mouth to the stomach. It is made up of muscles. These muscles gently push food down to your stomach in a wave-like action called peristalsis. Actually, this movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal to push the food forward. Your stomach is a J-shaped bag made up of muscles. It can hold up 2 liters of food at a time. Food stays in the stomach from a few minutes to few hours depending on the type of the food eaten. The inner lining of the stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive juices. Hydrochloric acid, that is represented by HCl. The mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach. The acid kills bacteria that enter along with the food and also help in the digestion of the proteins. The stomach muscles squeeze and mix the food with the digestive juices. The digestive juices break down the proteins into simpler substances. Thus, food gets partially digested in the stomach. Then it goes into the small intestine where most of the digestion occurs. Digestion in the small intestine: as the food leaves your stomach, little by little, it enters a long winding tube below it called the small intestine. The last steps of the digestion takes place here. The muscles in the small intestine mix food with more digestive juices. Some juices are secreted by the cells of the small intestine itself. Others come from the liver, which is the largest gland in the body, and the pancreas, that is located just below the stomach. The liver secretes bile juice, which is stored in the gallbladder. The bile breaks up fats into the tiny droplets that can be digested and absorbed more easily. The digestive juices then act on these tiny droplets to form the simpler compounds known as the fatty acids and glycerol. The pancreas secretes the pancreatic juice that changes the starch into the simple sugars and proteins into the compounds called the amino acids. Absorption in the small intestine. The digested food is then absorbed by the small intestine. Absorption of the food occurs through thousands of small finger-like projections in the thin inner wall of the small intestine. These projections are known as the villi. Singular is the villus. Increase the surface area of the absorption of the digested food. Each villus has a network of fine blood capillaries close to the surface. The food absorbed on the surface of the villus passes into the blood in the capillaries. Now the assimilation. The food absorbed into the blood is transported to different parts of the body. It is used to provide the energy and materials for growth and repair of the body tissues. This is the final stage in the process of digestion and is known as assimilation. Glucose is broken down in the cells with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water to provide energy. Amino acids are used for building and repairing of the body parts. Fatty acids and glycerols are stored under the skin and act as energy reserves. Now the process digestion. Not all the food you eat is digested and absorbed. The food that cannot be digested moves from the small intestine into a wide tube called the large intestine. Here, most of the water present in the waste is absorbed. The waste food, which is now almost solid, is stored in the last part of the large intestine and called the rectum. It is then passed out of the body through the anus. Now the topic ruminant, and this will be the last topic to cover. That is, the ruminant are hoofed plant-eating animals that digest their food into steps. Some examples are cow, buffaloes, goats, sheep, and bison. They have complicated stomach consisting of four chambers. Food that is swallowed goes into the first chamber called the rumen. Here it is partially digested and it is called gut. It then goes to the second chamber from where it is returned to the mouth for through chewing. This process is called rumination. That is why these animals are called ruminants. After chewing, the food is swallowed for a second time and then digested further in the remaining chambers. It is finally sent to the small intestine where the absorption of the nutrients occur. Now, small recap we can see, and you also have to know about. Now you know. The process of nutrition in the animals involves ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. So, five processes are there for the nutrition in animals. Now, the next, that is, animals get their food in the different ways. Next one, the human digestive system consists of mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, ending in the rectum and anus. The salivary glands, liver, and pancreas are the organs that also help in the digestion. The different types of the teeth in the humans are incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Digestion begins in the mouth and continues in the stomach and small intestine. Digested food is absorbed in the small intestine. Ruminants digest their food in two steps. So now that is the last and the topic. Actually, we can say that this is the lab activity or your experiment time. So today I'm just discussing about the study of the effect of saliva on the food. You have read that saliva converts the starch of food into the sugar. Let us do an experiment. You will need saliva, test tubes, starch, glass slides, and iodine solution. Take a little of your saliva in a test tube. In another test tube, boil some starch. You can take the starch that is used at your starch for the clothes or as well as the rice you can boil. Put a drop of boiled starch on the glass slide. Add it a drop of iodine solution. That means you have to add a drop of iodine solution in it. It will turn blue black, showing the presence of starch. Now add some boiled starch to the saliva. Test the resulting solution of the starch. Is starch present now and why? This is the question.